Cool. So right now, I'm just making some roasted veggies. I got some beets, ginger, garlic, and carrots, and I'm gonna add some olive oil. We buy olive oil and canola oil in these large containers, 35 pounds at a time usually. Um, so it's much cheaper to buy in bulk. And living at Duchesne, we have a communal meal plan, so we all put in $110 a month. Um, and that allows us to have bulk purchasing power, which is a really cool way to resist the current state of our food system right now, because now we have the purchasing power of 15 rather than 1. And so your dollar stretches a lot further when you have the capacity and storage to be able to buy things in bulk. I'm thinking right now kind of going for a garlicky ginger vibe in this roasted veggies.
So our housing co-ops, we have 5 houses. 4 of them are big communal houses, 15 to 18 people, and then we have one that's apartment style that has about 27 to 30 people in it. But essentially people are coming together and sharing everything. They make all the decisions. They own the spaces that they're living in. So our Newman house was our first house, and that was named after Patty Newman, who was our first executive director. Our second house that we bought, our Manly house, was named after Stephen Manley, who was a firefighter who lost his life fighting a fire. Our Biko house was named after Stephen Biko. That's our People of Color house. And then our most recent house is our Thomas Merton house, and that's an interfaith themed house. Our third house, our Duchesne house, it's either named after the Hindu festival or named after a pet rat, as the story goes. Duchesne house is a vegetarian vegan house. Not everyone that lives there is necessarily vegan or vegetarian, but the house only buys vegetarian food and cooks vegetarian food and shares vegetarian meals. For our communal houses, they pool their money together to purchase food. They elect 2 people to be their kitchen managers who facilitate all the food buying with feedback from the house. We purchase grocery and produce in bulk, direct from distributors. Each person puts in $110 for food each month, and that covers most of their food, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, totally. So the housing co-op has a partnership with the Isla Vista Food Co-op, and as well this company called Harvest Santa Barbara, which sources directly from farmers and sells bulk produce. So what we do for produce is we get the majority of our produce comes from Harvest directly. All 5 houses kind of have an Excel sheet, and we see what the weekly produce is that is available, and everyone fills in how many pounds of each box they want. And so that is a little tougher to do if you're on your own with some friends, because Harvest has a minimum requirement that you need to, I think it's a $300 minimum for delivery. And you can just divide that amongst your friends, and you can get it at a much cheaper price than, say, going to Trader Joe's or going to the farmer's market even sometimes.
So we primarily serve UCSB students, and we also offer spots to UCSB staff and faculty. We also offer spots to SBCC students.
I'm not necessarily vegetarian, but I try not to eat meat, and I don't like eating a lot of meat, so just having that as like a grounding force here at Duchesne, it's definitely made me more attuned to food and produce and environmental justice probably.
If I was living on my own and I would have to make a fixed dinner for myself every night, I would probably go to some of the fast food stores like 2 or 3 nights a week. And so that convenience is here, but with all the good ingredients and with a way better quality of food, I'd say.
There's a community in it that people will gain from, and it's a very great community that people can always come to. And I've realized that a lot of people in the co-ops are very friendly, humble, open-armed type people. and which is what keeps me coming too, and which is what I've noticed from other people who do visit. They just love that all the people are cooperative beyond having to be cooperative.
I think you should kind of get a feeling for what the community is like, and I think it's a community that that values each individual and that respects and tolerates different points of view.